Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of Saturdays with Susan. So I thought it might be fun to do this at night. My last one was in the afternoon. So I did episode 1 last week, talking about the importance of grounding. So if you missed that, it is available on my YouTube station, which, go figure, is my name, SusanDintino. So today what we're going to be talking about is cutting your cords. And I want to talk a little bit about what it means to develop an energetic cord with somebody and how you can go about protecting your energy. I'm also going to share a card that I pulled for everybody tuning in. And again, that's for those of you that are live and also those of you that are listening to it on YouTube or listening to it later in the day. Just know that whenever I do an intuitive reading like this, regardless of when you get the information, it's specifically meant for you. I'm also going to be doing some mini readings throughout this time that we have together. So I certainly welcome you. And again, for those of you that might not know, my name is SusanDintino. I am an intuitive. I'm a writer. I have a book out right now called Songs of My Life, slightly out of tune, that's published by Hay House. And I'm also the proud host of 2 radio shows, The Night Shift on W4CY.com, and that comes every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And then I'm also with InFlowRadio.com with the In Power Hour, and that comes every Thursdays at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. And I always have topics, and I do mini readings, more shows than not. So I'd love to have you join me when you're available for those radio shows. But today, let's talk a little bit about energetic cords. So when I talk about energetic cords, my definition is that each and every time we have any type of association with anybody, we develop a cord. Now, this is not something that you can physically see, but this is something, again, using your own intuitive ability that you can sense is there. So we have to pay attention to it, because if we develop too many cords, what happens is it drains us energetically. So for those of you that might be familiar with the Celestine Prophecy books by James Redfield, I think he describes it really well in one of his books, and I'm not sure which one of that series that it is, but there's a time when there are 2 people that come together, and there's somebody that's observing it, and this person that's observing it actually sees this person speaking with another person. And I believe, again, and it's been so long since I read the books, but I believe that it's a woman speaking with a man. And he can see intuitively, because this woman is somebody that tends to be really a person that drains energy. So she's kind of coming at this gentleman looking for something, and he sees this cord develop between the 2 of them. And again, this isn't something you can see physically. This is something you just really either feel, you know it's there, you see it's there in your third eye, one way or the other. This gentleman was observing this interaction taking place, and he could see that the longer that the 2 of them spent together, the more drained that the man was getting. Because again, just like when a car pulls up to a gas pump and you're taking gas out of the pump, you're draining and you're filling your car with energy and you're taking energy away. So this is exactly the same way this type of cord develops, and this is what happens. Now, we can have cords with people that we meet in the elevator. Certainly if you're somebody that does readings or any type of physical work, healing work, anything like that, you develop a cord with the person that you're working with. Not to mention our family members, our friends. There are a myriad of ways that we can develop these energetic cords. And again, you can also cord people, so it goes 2 ways. So we're not always blaming the people that are cording us. We're also realizing that there are times that we cord people. So when we are cognizant of that, and I really recommend doing this on a daily basis, is cutting your cords. And after each and every reading that I do, I always do kind of like this. I release you with love and light. I release you with love and light. And just again, you have your energy, I have mine. So let's keep everything in balance. And again, when I'm working with a client, it's something I do after the reading is over. I tend to have a very strong energetic cord with one of my children, and I really think her and I have had past lives together. So this cord tends to be the size of a fire hose, and I can always tell when something's going on in her life and that she is, maybe we're not, again, talking as much as we normally talk, so I might not be aware of what's going on, but boy, oh boy, can I feel it. So again, I usually feel it right here on the shoulder, and it's a big cord because her and I really have got this relationship, and we've been through quite a bit together. So again, I release you with love and light. I release you with love and light. And one of the reasons I'm bringing up my daughter is because this in no way is severing our relationship, or it's in no way taking love away. All it is you're keeping your energy and you're telling the other person to keep their energy. Now, often when I recommend this in a reading, especially for somebody that might be still interested in an ex, say two people have broken up and one person really wants to get back together. So I'll recommend this cutting cords. And they'll say to me, oh no, I don't want to lose this person. I'm not going to cut any cords. And what I explain is that by cutting the cord to an ex, you're actually encouraging them to come back to you physically. Why? Because if they can get their fix, again, I'll use my name and say this was somebody that was my ex, and they could get their Susan fix by just courting me and thinking about me and just kind of getting their energy where they'd have to see me physically, that sometimes can be enough, that it keeps the person at bay. What I find is that when somebody cuts their cords, releases their ex with love and light, again, this is all about free will, so we're not trying to control anybody, but what I have found is that the person who is being released will all of a sudden say, whoa, wait a minute. And again, this doesn't necessarily have to be something that's coming up like they're going to actually say it, but they're going to think, wow, how come I'm not feeling him or her anymore? What's going on here? And they'll feel that severing. They'll feel the fact that they cannot connect with you energetically. So if you're in a romantic relationship, sometimes what you'll find if you're trying to, get back together with somebody, that it can actually assist you by cutting your cords and really saying to the person again, you keep your energy, I keep mine. Now, one of my favorite tools to use when I'm cutting cords is selenite. Selenite is a very powerful crystal. The one thing you want to remember if you're clearing selenite is you never put it in water, because selenite will actually dissolve in water, so you don't want to do that. But again, this is a wand shape. There's all different types. It's got a point on the end. And what I'll do, again, if I feel like I need a real clearing, what I'll do is just take this wand all through my auric field. And of course I'm sitting down, but I would do this while I'm standing. And again, I would just say, I release you with love and light. And people that I know that have cords on me, people that I don't know that have cords on me, I will utilize this and just use this beautiful piece of selenite to do this. So again, I always like to give you my preferences, but as I have said before, whatever stone appeals to you, if you feel like a clear quartz is going to do it for you, but I really enjoy using selenite. So that's what I want to point out to you today. It's a beautiful stone. I just feel charged by holding it, and this is a beautiful piece. So this is something, again, that you can use when you're cutting your cords. I think it's a great habit to get into in the morning, or especially later in the day, especially if you've had a day maybe working with coworkers that have been a bit taxing, maybe people that you work for have had expectations that you didn't feel were fair. Again, cutting your cords, releasing with love and light. If you're unusually fatigued and there's no physical reason for it, sometimes it can be this abundance of cords. And I know there's books out, I'm familiar like with Judith, oh, I can't believe her name just escaped me, but she has written books, Judith Orloff, I'm almost positive, about energy vampires. And again, vampires might be too strong of a word, but it's just the idea that there is somebody coming and really sucking your energy. Not so much your blood, but your lifeblood, because they're sucking your energy. So again, it's wonderful to use this. If you don't want to use this tool, that's fine. You can, again, remember with all of this, it's all intention. So you can just kind of release, let go. I release you with love and light. Again, for those of you tuning in that do any type of healing work, any type of readings, this is an essential part of your practice and your day. When you're done, and you really, if you can remind yourself to do it in between each client, it's really going to assist you in making yourself feel much more refreshed. I'm going to talk about protecting our energy as well, but I'm going to do that in a later episode. Today, I just wanted to focus on the importance of cutting cords. There is some thought out there in the New Age world that part of fatigue syndrome is chronic fatigue syndrome is caused by all of these energetic cords. And there's also a line of thinking out there that our deceased loved ones can actually cord us. So again, by doing this, it's a very powerful method to keep your energy just exactly where you want it, which is with you, and allowing the other person to keep their energy with them. So cutting cords, very important, very significant. So we'll be talking about that throughout my meeting with you, but I want to just share the card. I just love this time of year, and I am now in Buffalo, New York. I was in Florida, so I just arrived yesterday. So a little bit of a different energy. I'm looking at the lake and I'm up in a high rise. So my energy is different here. Last week when I did this, I talked about grounding, and I really focus a great deal on grounding when I'm here. I'm up high on the 16th floor. Again, it's almost, at times I feel like living in a goldfish bowl, because you look out and you can see all this beautiful stuff, but physically getting out like I do in Florida with bare feet and in the sand, not so much. So I really focus on grounding. So if you didn't catch the episode last week, I'd really recommend you tuning in to the whole thing going on about grounding and the tools that you can use for that. But again, because it's June and because we're looking at the summer solstice coming up, I really enjoy fairy energy this time of year. So the deck I'm going to be pulling from to do my mini readings and to pull the card that I pulled for each and every one of you is from the Fairy Tarot cards, and I pulled number 19, the Sun. What a great fairy we've got sitting on a unicorn. And what this card says is plans that work out perfectly. Amazing ideas that lead to rewards and commendations. Gratitude for the blessings of life. And look, we've got this beautiful, and for some reason this energy of this fairy so much reminds me of Archangel Michael. And again, just coming in and saying, wow, here I am, reminding us of the magic that all of us have, the magic that all of us can create. And then the sunflowers, what a beautiful reminder of summer. And sunflowers to me always represent blessings. So this is also inviting us to take a step back, look at what's around us, and to have some gratitude for it. So number 19, again, the number 9, we know that's a sacred number, divisible only by 3 and itself. So we have that divine power behind this card as well. And 1, the universal number of the universe. So 19 might have even more significance for you. But again, I really feel that this is the divine behind us and just letting us know that it's time to know that we're going to be reaping the rewards for all the things, maybe hibernating during the winter, some planting of the seeds in the spring, and now the sun has come in to let us know that it's all going to be wonderful. So I'm going to be pulling again. This is by Radley Valentine, Fairy Tarot deck, published by Hay House. And I'm going to take a moment now to just say hello. We have Michelle here, Leona, and let me just... Polly. Hello, Polly. Hello, Ernesto and Lori. Hey, Doug, Colleen, Terry. Hello, Terry. Okay, so I am going to get to as many of you as I can for readings. And again, one card mini readings I'll be scrolling through. So, Leona, let's begin with you. And let's see what we have here. So again, shuffle, shuffle, and fairy tarot deck. So let's see what fairy card comes in for you from this deck. The Six of Winter. Positive changes are on the way. A welcome relief from troubled times. Traveling or relocating. Okay, so now we've got this beautiful water image. And like I always say, Leona, when I look at these cards, what I do is I read the words a lot more when I'm doing these mini readings because I want to get the message across quickly. But when we take a little bit more time, and just keep in mind, if you're ever looking for a reading of a longer length, I have all my services available up on my website, SusanDintino.com. But what I see about this is, again, it plays off so much, that first card I pulled for everybody, because I see so much magic around this. The number 6, again, we have those 3s coming in. So again, reminding us that the divine is with us. And I think this is saying that you have got the power to create magic in your life. I think it's also significant because I think the winter months were a challenge for you and you had a bit of up and down. So now really it's a time where you are really going to step into releasing the past and really being present. As we looked at that first card, I really think that was such a huge invitation to remind us to be present and to count our blessings. So Leona, thank you so much for tuning in. I really feel, again, the challenges are behind you. Remember to keep the past in the past. This is all about embracing the presence and staying in the present moment. So thank you for tuning in. Okay, let's see. And again, scrolling here. I said hello to Lori. Okay, so Michelle now asking for a reading. And okay, so Michelle is saying that she has a market coming for readings and I forget to do this. Yes, you know, it's so often when we're doing readings one right after another, we can tend to forget how to really take care of ourselves and to protect our energy. And like I said, this is one of the topics I'm going to be covering, is doing protection techniques. But yes, it is extremely important to remember to cut your cords between readings. Like I said, obviously right now in between these mini readings I'm not doing it, but when I get off the show I will use that point that I showed you, the selenite point, and I will do it. So now we have the 5 of Autumn coming up for you. And what this card says is, reach out to others for assistance. Poor timing for a career change, feeling challenged by money issues. So, what I feel this is telling you, Michelle, is that right now might not be the best time for you to be making decisions regarding your career. I love this visual because I'm going to take this a step further. I think there's somebody out there that can really be helpful to you, and this is so much about you learning to receive. I think you're great at giving, but when it comes to receiving, maybe not so much. So this card is saying to you, you know what? I feel this is a little representative of you right here, and here we've got, you know, this person giving something to you. So just know that there's always somebody out there that's got your back. There's always somebody out there willing to receive. So all you have to do is be open to allowing yourself to receive. So keeping that in mind, remembering to cut your cords. I'm glad you're pointing out how important it is if you're doing any type of psychic fair, anything that you're describing, and it's time for you to receive. In order to get abundance and of all kinds in your life, you have to be open to receiving. So I always ask people when receiving comes up, is I say, how do you accept a compliment? Because for those of you that have trouble accepting the compliment, you're really closing yourself off to receiving things on all levels. So just just keep that in mind. When somebody tells you you look nice, you just say thank you. I really appreciate it. So that's the 5 of autumn. Again, 5's all about change, transition coming up. So if you were thinking about a career transition, I think this card is saying you need to get some assistance in helping you decide what your next step should be. So thanks so much, Michelle, for tuning in. Okay, so let's see who else we've got. So we've got Jill, Sabrina, Polly. Okay, Polly. And again, if you want a card, just let me know real quickly, because I like to definitely do it for the people that are interested. And I know this is not, sometimes people don't have time to hang around, so believe me, I get it. Okay, so Polly, this is the Ace of Spring. And boy, you know what I'm really noticing about these cards is how much pink. And pink to me is always the color of passion. So Ace, so now we've got that 1 coming in. And this card says, it's time to take action, be fearless, and happily pursue your most treasured dreams. Amazing career opportunities. So unlike the last card we pulled for Michelle, which is kind of saying, you know what, timing's not right, this card is telling you it's time for you to step outside your comfort zone, and it's time for you to move forward and do exactly what it is that you've been thinking about doing. What I see around this is maybe a little bit of procrastination. You've got an idea, but you want all the stars to be aligned perfectly in order to make it work. So just know that the time is now to pursue it. A lot of success around it. And again, this pink to me always signifies passion. So this would be really talking about an affair of the heart. In other words, life purpose path. And this can also be a hobby, because remember, when you enjoy what you do, when this is something that makes your heart happy, the energy, as we're talking about cutting cords, the energy goes out from your heart to everybody you meet through a smile. I know we're talking about cutting cords, and it seems like we're kind of saying, you know, keeping people at arm's length, but that's not what this is about. What this is about is really taking care of yourself, but again, in a loving way, that you're reaching out to other people. So, Polly, that's the card we have for you. Okay, so let's see what else we've got going on here. Okay, so Sabrina would like a message. And again, we're using the Fairy Tarot cards. So these are by Radley Valentine. So let's see, we're coming in, and I'm sure you'll enjoy a message from the fairies, because we're not using the angel cards today. So who do we have? The Moon. And now we've got an 18. The Moon. What incredible energy. Strong feminine energy. The number 18, so much about abundance. The number 8. And boy, those ones keep coming in. So to me, this is all about it's time. You are number 1. It is time. And let's see what the card says. Powerful, intuitive epiphanies, letting go of worry and fear, understanding the truth of a situation. So, beautiful long hair, the feminine energy of the Moon. So how interesting that in the beginning we had number 19, the masculine energy of the Sun, and now we've got the feminine energy of the Moon. And I am shuffling away. This is a 78 card deck. So these cards really want to be recognized. So what this is saying to you, Sabrina, is to trust your intuitive insights. Trust that information that you're getting and know that you can act on it. Again, the reoccurring theme I'm getting is to keep the past in the past and to focus on your present. So thank you for tuning in. Again, that's the Moon, number 18. And let me just show you really quickly so you know. Everybody can see this is the deck that I'm using, the Fairy Tarot cards. And I know everything on these Facebook Live comes in upside down, so, or backwards or whatever. Hello, Julie. Okay, so Julie's looking for a reading. So let's see what comes up for Julie. And again, if you're just tuning in, my name is SusanDintino. This is Saturdays with Susan, episode 2. And we talked about the importance of cutting our energetic reports. So if you missed the first half, this will be up for on Facebook. I think they leave it up for 24 hours. Then it'll be on my YouTube station. And actually, I'm posting them all on the home page of my website, which is my name, SusanDintino.com. Right now, available on the website is a chakra clearing MP3 free download. So as long as you're stopping in to look at the video, download that for yourself. Oh my gosh, so the Ace of Spring came up again for Julie. And again, I'm shuffling. So here's the number 1. And this is saying that there is a project that you are supposed to start doing. Allow yourself to just step outside your comfort zone. No more procrastination. It's time for you to move forward. And again, risk of repeating myself, we've got the pink. This is about passion. This is all about you doing what makes your heart sing. So Julie, thank you so much for tuning in. And let's see, and Jackie. Okay, let's see. Love a card for career. So we're going to put spring back in the deck, and let's see if that comes up again, since it really seems like we're having so many focuses this evening on career and really taking chances and taking risks. And now we have the Princess of Autumn. Okay. So, Julie, what this card is saying is studious, responsible, cheerful, and mischievous. So we've got a little bit of both going on. Happy news about your career. So what a great answer to your question. Promotions or scholarships, well thought out plans that go perfectly, needing a little push to get going. And wow, does this not spin right off of that Ace of Spring that we pulled, really thinking. And again, when I'm doing these readings, even though I'm mentioning specific people, just know that if you're thinking, oh my gosh, this reading really resonates with me, that it is a reading for you. So keep that in mind, that this is a reading that pertains to you as well. So it's a good time for your career. It's a good time for you. Again, what I'm seeing around you is very tied into your solar plexus chakra. Again, that brilliant yellow, your internal sun located in the abdomen area, very much about you stepping in your power. So I think maybe at work there have been times that you've really wanted to express things that you haven't expressed. This card is coming in to say now is the time to speak up and speak your truth and maybe just kind of blow your own horn a little bit. But all good things around this, a positive time for you career-wise. Okay. Oh, actually, now let me see. I hope I didn't mix that up because I'm saying Julie, I think this is a card for Jackie. I'm sorry. I'm trying to multitask here. Jackie, you were asking about career, so I apologize again, trying to read this names at the same time. Jackie, everything I just said is for you. So thank you so much for tuning in. And again, if you want to re-listen and make sure you get all the information, just check it out. Michelle is saying, very true. Last time I wore myself out. Thank you. Deborah Hooks. Okay, so she would like a reading. See, these comments come up, and like I say, I'm scrolling, and then I get caught up in the reading and the names get mixed up. So let Deborah keep you right center stage here. Okay. And here comes the Princess of Autumn again. And again, you saw me shuffling. So very similar to the last reading that I did. It's a time for you now to really step outside your comfort zone. All of your hard work is paying off. Now, keep in mind that if you're a student or if you're somebody that's not, maybe even a homemaker, and this is coming in as your message, what it means is that I think when it comes to this time of year, we tend to start feeling a little bit like, especially moms, the kids are going to start being off for the summer. There's so much at the end of the year going on that I think sometimes we wonder what our role is. And for those of you that are tuning in, I think this is a strong really message for stay-at-home moms or working moms that, you know what, your work is one of the most important jobs out there. So just keep that in mind. For some reason, this is coming through to me loud and clear. So for those of you that are tuning in, if this resonates, really make sure that you take this and know that this is meant for you. So again, Deborah, time for you to realize again, just like I said to the last person, Jackie, you know, toot your own horn. Know you are good at what you do. And again, when we talk about this, we're not talking about running around beating our chest like a gorilla in an aggressive way. But what we are talking about is standing firmly in our power with that beautiful yellow color and knowing that we deserve to be recognized for what we do. So I leave you with that, again, the Princess of Autumn. And so it's so interesting. All the seasons have come up. We've had the winter come up, the spring come up, the autumn come up, summer come up. So it's really running the whole gambit of everything. Okay, so Michelle is saying her reading was very true. Okay, let's just see what else and what else we have. Okay, so let me just see. All right. I want to make sure that I get everybody, so forgive me for scrolling through. You know what? If I haven't given you a reading yet, please just pop in another comment so that I know who I did get to and who I didn't. I'm seeing Teresa, and I'm so so happy you're able to catch me tonight as well. And a card would be appreciated. So let's pull a card for you. And again, if you're listening and ask for reading and I didn't get to you yet because I'm getting close to winding up, please make sure, just post and say, me please, and I'll make time for a few more. So let's see what card comes up for you. And this is the Princess of Spring. I like to show you first. Whenever I'm doing readings and in a longer span of time, the first thing I do is look at the cards. I really don't do any reading of what the cards say. I take all my information from the card. So of course I'm going to see the Princess of the Spring, but then I look at the picture. So again, we see the pink here and we talk about passion. And I will share the words with you. It says optimistic, enthusiastic, creative, and energetic. And Teresa, this is for you. It's time to go after your dreams. Do something that expands your horizons. Let your creativity take flight. You know, I have 2 radio shows, as I said before. The Night Shift, which airs every Tuesday on W4CY.com, and the Power Hour, which airs every Thursday at 4 p.m. on inflowradio.com. And I do mini readings throughout the show. And 90% of the time when I'm doing these readings, totally random, this will happen exactly as it's happened this evening. And what I mean is there will be a theme. So obviously, the divine beings that are being channeled through me want the listening audience to know that this is a time for you to step outside your comfort zone, a time for you to really, again, toot your own horn a bit and have fun with your creativity and know you're worth it. Know you're worth it. This is very much tied in, I feel, to life purpose and what it is that you're doing. So, Teresa, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. And let's see. I think... Okay, perfect. I got to everybody. So I thank you so much for joining me this evening. Again, I know it's a Saturday night, so I know there's all different options out there. Just to recap, we talked about cutting cords and the importance of, again, releasing people that have corded themselves to us via your work, via your home, via your family. Anybody that you feel draining you energetically. And this is something you can do at night before you go to bed. Obviously, if you're doing readings one right after another, I highly recommend, or any type of energy work, that you do this cord cutting in between each client, because you'll really find that you feel much more revived when you do that. I recommended using the selenite wand, one of my favorite crystals to use for this, but again, intention in your hand is certainly appropriate. So thank you so much for joining me. As I said, this will be posted on Facebook, so if you got a reading, want to re-listen to it, hear a little bit more, maybe take a few notes, know it'll be up, and then it'll go up on the homepage of my website, which is SusanDintino, that's DINTINO.com, and there's all the information about my radio shows, all my past shows, everything. I'm actually doing a series right now on Inflow Radio, Yes, You Are Psychic, and a 2-part series. Both of those are available on demand, so check them out. And of course, I have all types of mini readings, my products. I have my book, Songs of My Life, Slightly Out of Tune, as well as A Year of Me, my children's book, and various CDs and MP3s available. So all different kinds of things. Plus, it's fun to learn a little bit more about me. So stop over at my website. I want to thank you so much again for joining me this evening. And I'm going to do this as often as I can. I've got quite a bit of traveling coming up, but I'm hoping to do this as close to every week as I can. Saturdays with Susan. Thank you so much for joining me. You have a great night and blessings for the rest of the weekend. Good night now.